What's up, guys? Miles back with another video. On today's video, I want to talk about why we have so many problems as people and why we continue to repeat cycles over and over in our lives and in history and throughout, mankind. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you found this content valuable. But let's get into it. If I'm looking down, as I'm looking at a few of my talking points and notes I want to make sure I hit. So why do we have so many problems as a people? Why do people argue? Why can't we get along sometimes? Why is there always a constant friction in every social setting, it seems like? Why is that? Well, point number one, everybody thinks they're right. If you study psychology, if you study people in general, right, nobody thinks they're the bad person in their own story. In everybody's story, you perceive yourself as the hero, right? Now the problem with that is, are you actually the hero? Or are you actually the villain, right? But since it's your story, you can make it however you want to make it. Since it's your life, you can make it however you want to make it, right? And it's not a bad thing. To a degree, it's a really beautiful thing. It's a good thing. It's what separates us from all the other animals out here. But what happens is we have a tendency to lie to ourselves and create our own reality that's separate from the actual real reality, right? So everybody thinks they're right. So when we get into arguments with one another, the reason why one side can never agree with the other side is because they think their side is 100% right. They never want to understand and go into the other side and dive into their psychology, that part of the argument, to see if there's something that, we can take away from that side as well, right? And so that brings me to my next point. There's no understanding. So if you're not willing to understand the other side of what's going on, and you think that your side is the only side that's right, you're really limiting your own capacity. You're limiting your own growth, right? Because we only know so much, right? It takes a village to raise a child. It takes people around you, good quality people, to build you up and to be who you want to be, and to be the person that you need to be. Needs to be checks and balances somewhere. Meaning that you need somebody in your life that will check you when you do something wrong, right? And also, you need somebody in your life that will tell you when you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying? There's always a checks and balance. But once you think that you're 100% right and everybody's wrong, there's no checks and balances right there. You just stay within your biased way of thinking, which is very narrow in the big scheme of things, right? But you'll never notice that until, it's too late, or, you're going to look 20, 30 years away and you're still in the same spot. So, last point I want to talk about, and this is a tragedy of if you don't change your points of view, if you are unwilling to at least listen and understand the other side, is that once you reach a certain point, you start to form habits. You start to form habits that are almost permanent. This is why when they say that the brain glazes over at 25, like trying to change a 40-year-old person's mind about something is damn near impossible. It's like talking to a brick wall. It's because they're so stuck in their ways that it's almost impossible for them to change. Now, they can change, but there's only one way to change it, and that change is through pain and traumatic pain. So if you're a person that you think that you should eat whatever you want, well, only way you're going to change your diet is whenever you get a heart attack, or you get diabetes and you're overweight. Now you can't move around. You lose your job because you can't you're not physically able to do your job, right? those are the only times that we tend to change behavior that we think is okay, right? So in today's society, when there's no accountability, literally almost everybody has something that's unchecked, something that's a habit or something that will become permanent eventually, that will overall affect the whole society, right? So once you understand this, that everybody thinks they're right, everybody thinks they're the own hero in their own story, that they don't want to hear the other side. And once they don't want to hear the other side, and that they think their side is 100% right, they begin to form that as a habit. That lie becomes truth in their head, and it's like you can't change it almost, unless you put them in a situation where it's life or death, or it's extremely painful, right? So, like I said, it lets you. So, and once you understand this, you start to question where society is going, because, like I said in the early video, society is going in the wrong direction. There's no common sense. There's no understanding. There's no accountability. We're going to have a whole bunch of people with bad habits that cannot be changed, and that will affect the whole society in a negative way, and will put tremendous amounts of pressure on the people that are open-minded, that the people are understanding, to change the stuff, right? It's society is just weird right now. It's really in a weird place, right? We can sit here and talk about like what we think is going to happen, but guys, it's going to be crazy, So just buckle up, because it's going to be a ride for the next 10, 15, 20 years, right? So I just wanted to come in and drop this video. Break your habits. Develop good habits. Understand the other side. You're not 100% right on anything. It's always a different perspective, always a different way of viewing things. So, like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you like the video. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. You guys have a good day, good week. We out.